What is up, everybody? What's up, Wolfpack Prince of Love of Darkness here. Finally back for a short video on kind of the monsters I usually like to use a lot in Summoner's War. For those of you who do know, this game's pretty awesome. And, some of the monsters you can get are pretty awesome as well. Though that you kind of have to have a lot of patience and, just patience itself. So let's get started without further ado and not waiting any longer. So, my first Nat 5 was Praha, my Oracle, and I used her a lot. I'm not even joking. She's gotten me pretty much out of tough situations, and sometimes can screw you over. But Praha's a really, really awesome monster. She's a support monster. She's mainly known for healer, and I'll get to that in a little bit why. But let's kind of go over her real quickly and then move on. So she has her first skill, Passing Time, attacks 3 times and recovers 15% of the attack bar each time it lands as a critical hit. Not too bad, kind of like that. Predicted Future attacks all enemies with an 80% chance to remove beneficial effects, inflicting continuous damage equal to the number of beneficial effects removed for 2 turns. Not a bad skill. Really good for, like, giants, dragons. Not so much Necro. She could, if you need a healer for Necro, then you might want to have, like, probably Colleen, most likely, because she's ridiculously good for Necro. And it's reusable in 4 turns, not too bad. And then Daydream. This is the reason why everybody wants Praha, even Schizophrenic Gamer. Trust me, I know. Recovers the HP of all allies by 50% by putting yourself to sleep for 1 turn. This can get you out of really... This can either do you good or screw you if she doesn't use this. So, out of all the oracles, I think Praha's my favorite besides Serena because she's ridiculously broken. And then her leadership skill increases the resistance of all ally monsters by 41%. This is amazing, awesome, ridiculous. This was another friend of my first or second actually Nat 5, and he was pretty excited. And when I got mine, I was also pretty excited. She's usually ruined. Despair Blade for extra crit, or if you want to give her extra accuracy, Despair Focus. You want to have HP in slots probably 2 and 4, and then defense in 6. You want to get her as much defense as she can, because she can be a tank. I mean, she doesn't need that much defense, but at least to heal, yeah, you want to give her a good amount of defense. And her accuracy is increased by 25% when she's awakened, so that's a great thing. Second monster I use a lot, Chloe, the Fire Epicon Priest. She's my favorite. She was my first Nat 4, and I didn't know, if she was any good or not when I got her. And then I showed her to my friends. I was like, dude, you just got one of the most badass Epicon Priests ever. Keep her. Holy shit. Attack speed is increased by 15. Not too bad. You want to give her as much speed as you can, because of, actually, 2 of her skills. Absorb mana and attacks the enemy and recovers the HP by 30% of the damage dealt. This increases by her max defense, or max HP, sorry, not defense. Not too bad. Phil recovers the HP of 2 allies with the lowest HP ratio by 25% and 15%. This increases over time as you feed her more Epicon Priest if you're daring enough to, or if you give her Devilmon. I would highly recommend Devilmon. And then Fanatic. This is my favorite skill All allies are invincible for 1 turn and gain immunity for 2 turns. So any monster that needs, invincibility, really squishy, or, needs at least some immunity, this is the way to go. Chloe is the way to go. Fanatic is a great skill. I love it. Now the Nat 5 I wasn't expecting. The Fire Pioneer, Chiwu. My friend has Wusa. He is a fucking tank. It's not even funny. Like, the defense on his Wusa is ridiculous. But anyways, I have Chiwu, which I think is better, personally. Yin Yang Attack. Attacks the enemy with the power of Yin Yang and puts the enemy to sleep for 20% of the chance. This is increased by the damage increases max according to his max HP. I should have mentioned that Chloe needs a lot of HP and defense, so usually energy guard, energy endurance, if you want to give her more resistance, which is highly recommended, but you could get a lot of resistance from runes, specifically substats. That's kind of the one thing you're going to want to look for. Chiwu, you can also give him a lot of HP, but I highly recommend also giving him a lot of attack. This is one of my favorite skills. At North Star Wisdom, attacks the enemy 2 times, with each attack having a 75% chance to remove a beneficial effect from the enemy and a 75% chance to block beneficial effects granted on the target for 2 turns. This attack always lands as a critical crushing hit regardless of the enemy target's attribute. So, basically this is like the killer for giants and dragons. Well, actually giants most likely. Holy shit. He's like the basically buff stripper, buff blocker, because of his his third skill, and we'll go over that in a little bit. He's ridiculously awesome. You are gonna want to hope you get a Fire Pioneer, because he's ridiculously fucking awesome. And Sleeve Attack attacks all enemies with world-devouring powers and removes all beneficial effects. All enemies, your HP is recovered by 5% of the 8 for each enemy beneficial effect removed. Again, this can destroy giants. B10 not exactly, unless he's like ridiculously high on defense, like ridiculously high on HP and defense. Yeah, he could probably tank it and probably take on giants B10 and win. But I don't really think he needs that much defense. Actually, in fact, I was talking to my friend of mine, and I told him about possibly using him for Giants B10. He's like, it's an elemental disadvantaging, you're probably not going to want to give him that much harm. Like, well, what if I tank him up a bit? He's like, well, you're going to need to be a super tank, but he doesn't really need to do that. So I'm like, yeah. Ridiculously good for stripping buffs and making sure they don't get buffs, period. And also increases accuracy by 25%. So he's a good stripper. You're gonna want to hope you get him. I actually got mine from a Fire Scroll when my Wi-Fi kind of went out for a minute, and I'm like, oh, crap. Went back, checked on and see what I had, and he was right there. I'm like, holy shit. I was damn surprised. My baby. My awesome baby. My dude. They call him my dude. That sounds really stupid. Calling my baby. But, I've heard stranger. Never mind. Lucian. Wind Joker. He's awesome. He's ridiculous. He's OP. He's an attacking monster. I need to raise his attack by a shit ton. I don't think he's even ruined correctly. Actually, yeah, well, I changed that. Oh, hold up. Never mind. I need to change. If I can get a 4 or 5-star Blade Rune with like a attack percent, I can do it. And anyways, Lucian. This is the one monster everybody wants. It's not even funny. He's OP as fuck. And I don't mean that. Legit, he's OP. Flying cards. Throws a sharp card to attack an enemy and disturbs the HP recovery for 2 turns with a 70% chance. You already got HP recovery disturbance. Let's point not going on. Surprise box. Someone say surprise box, and that inflicts damage and grants one random weakening effect among stun, glancing hit rate increase, and attack speed decrease to all enemies. Great AoE. This can be a game changer depending on, what it could be. Actually, in fact, if it's any of it, then, it might as well just call it a game changer right there. But he is great. And, if he's paired up with, like, somebody who can boost attack, like Megan, Shannon, I'm trying to remember who else can do it. I honestly don't remember who else can buff attack. Oh, Galleon, that's who else. Monsters like that, he can annihilate. Forget it. He's like the destroyer for water monsters, except for chimeras. He tends to go a little bit bad against chimeras, especially Rankin. Anti-Lucian, they call him, for a reason. And then my favorite skill, and the one that everybody loves the solution for, Amputation Magic. There was a number of cards, 6 cards to be exact, to inflict damage to all enemies, ignoring their defense. This, again, pretty awesome. It ignores defense and attacks multiple times, so he is very good for Necro. I'm not going to say he's the best for Necro, but for that skill specifically, he's good for Necro. He's ridiculously awesome for TOA. I mean, if you rune him correctly, he's really good for TOA. I actually use mine for TOA, but I don't have it runed correctly for TOA. There's 2 ways you can actually rune a Lucian. You can rune him attack. Well, Fatal Blade actually is what I was going to try to go for. Fatal Blade, focusing hard on attack and crit rate for slots 2, 4, and 6. Or if you were going to go for TOA, or even Guild Battles, Despair Focus, or no, not Despair Focus, Despair Blade. I've seen people rune it Despair Rage, Despair Nemesis, Despair Destroy. Again, as long as there's attack on slots 2, 4, and 6, you're pretty good for Necro, or anything. He's ridiculously good, and his attack skill is not that bad either. Increases the attack power of ally monsters in dungeons by 33%. You're gonna go for dungeons, you're gonna go for dragons, you're gonna go for Necro. He's gonna be the one up front. He can again change a game chamber right there. All right, Fedora, the Water Death Knight. I would like Brian, but I mean I got Fedora, and he's pretty good actually. Besides, I mean, it's a toss-up between Brian and Fedora. Deathly Blow unleashes a fatal blow on the enemy and disturbs their HP's recovery for 2 turns with a 50% chance. Not bad. I think all the Death Knights have this. I know this skill is shared with, like, I think the Wind? If it's not the Wind, then it's like Light or Dark. Check and Destroy. Attacks the enemy 2 times and weakens the attack power and defense for 2 turns with a 75% chance. This attack has dealt more damage according to your max HP, and he is at HP. He's a support monster, apparently, but you could consider him an HP tank. And Decline. Protects all enemies from death for 2 turns and removes harmful effects and grants immunity for 2 turns. Again, he can be a game changer as well. If you're going up against, like, a really tough boss, and you kind of need that, you know, I guess the Protector of Death, you're going to want to pick up a Death Knight. He's ridiculously awesome. I mean, especially in TOA. I know my friend's going to use one for TOA, and how they're usually ruined, something with, like, energy guard, energy endurance, or even guard endurance. It's honestly up to you. You're going to want to give him a lot of HP. Yeah, like, just a lot of HP, because, I mean, he needs a lot of defense. Especially if you're going to use him for TOA, or even the scenario. I mean, I know he's good mid-game. Some people say he's good for mid-game, others say he's good really good early game. And I can agree with both, but, I mean, you kind of also want to use him for raids, because, I mean, he can prevent death. And if you have him paired with a healer, as soon as he's done declining death, a healer can just pop right there, heal them all up, and, you know, just... This is why Fedora is so awesome. And increases defense for all allies by 25%. Not too bad, actually. Not too bad. And his accuracy is increased, so it's not too bad, actually. Alright, my Neostone fighter. I don't have Trevor, unfortunately, but I have Ryan. And it's, again, a toss-up, but I mean, I think Ryan... Actually, some say Ryan's better, some say Trevor's better because of his passive. I kind of think that, you know, if I had to choose between him and Trevor, I'd choose Ryan, actually, because of a few different reasons. Combat Knife. Swings a dagger and attack the enemies 2 times, and subsequently increases your attack power for 2 turns. An attack buff. And he's a really good attack monster. He's one of the best, actually. I really like him, and it's because of this skill. Attacks the enemy and inflicts continuous damage for 2 turns. This attack also decreases the enemy's defense if it lands as a critical hit. not bad, and it's actually also this skill too. Swiftly attacks the enemies 3 times, and each attack inflicting continuous damage for 1 turn. This attack lands as a critical hit. It will disturb her HP recovery for 2 turns. He's just awesome. I'm just not even going to say anything else. He needs a lot of speed, because if he can attack before anybody else, he can spit out dots like crazy. It's not even funny. Give him a lot of accuracy too. So, actually, no, Swift Blade. Increase his crit rate, get his crit rate to 100 or at least 90. I think 90 is the cap, 90 or 80. It defense debuff if it lands as a crit, and then also an HP debuff. So it's ridiculous. He's ridiculous. I'm so glad I got him. All right, the Water Pirate Captain. Ooh. I didn't know how good he was until I showed a friend of mine. He was like, dude, you need to keep him. I'm so glad I have. Galleon is a beast, and it's because of this skill when he's awakened. Time to loot. It unleashes a battle cry that increases the attack power of all allies for 2 turns, and with a 75% chance decreases the enemy attack for or defense of all the enemies for 2 turns. If you get his HP to, if you get his not HP. He is an HP monster, but it's strange though, because I don't know why he's an HP monster. Anyways, if you give him 100% accuracy, again, that's a game changer right there. He's gonna be, and he does. I do like his skills as well. Backspin Slash. It swiftly attacks the enemy and weakens its defense for 1 turn with a 75% chance. Not too bad though. That time to loot's also the reasoning. Pirate Strike attacks deals a powerful attack to the enemy and absorbs 30% of the attack bar. So it's actually not too bad. Honestly, I mean, again, give him as much. You're gonna want swift accuracy. So swift focus. Sorry, I didn't mean to say accuracy. I knew the name of the rune. I just didn't say it for some reason. Swift focus is you're gonna want to put Galleon on. If he unleashes time to loot, and it increases your attack power and then decreases their defense, you just might as well call that match yours. It can be a game changer right there. And if you have a Lucian with you and his attack power goes up, he's gonna be dealing shit tons of damage. I kid you not. I shit you not. He's fucking amazing. Alright, another favorite monster of mine, Rashaka. Hua. My friend's Hua is ridiculous. You're going to want to give her a lot of speed as well. She can be broken on Violent, though that I don't recommend it. So swing attacks an enemy with a whip, decreasing the attack speed, for 2 turns with a 50% chance, and its damage also increases according to attack speed. That's kind of the reason why you're going to want to put her on Swift instead of Violent, because, I mean, Violent it's I think a 20% chance that they'll attack again, so you have a chance. Burning Whip attacks with a Burning Whip, inflicts continuous damage for 3 turns. Holy shit! This is ridiculous. It's awesome. It's ridiculous. It's awesome. And then Burning Whip passive decreases the enemy's attack bar by 25%, and then it strikes again with a 20% chance. This is the reason why people put her on Violent. Though I would put her on Swift. It's honestly up to you. I'm not going to make you put her on Swift, but it's highly recommended you put her on Swift. Mainly because of the fact that, I mean, yeah, she does have a passive that lets her attack again, but I mean, let that passive be the reason why she attacks again and not Violent. It's again a 25%. It's a 20% chance. So, it's kind of a fire. It's kind of a what do I want to say? A toss up. There we go. All right, Lisa, the Fire Neostone Agent. I used her for a while, and I got to build her. I unfortunately can't do Dragon's Beat. I can't even do Dragons that well, unfortunately. So, yeah, Till I get Veramos, I'm probably gonna be stuck for doing giants for a while, and then putting her on Swift until I can get Violent. And anyways, Preemptive Strike attacks the enemy 2 times, each with attack having a 25% chance of increasing the enemy's attack chance of dealing a glancing hit for 2 turns. Really good. It's really good for probably giants and dragons, but I mean it depends. Um, she's I love her. I love Lisa and Emma, and I actually do have both. I think Emma's probably further down the list. I don't know if I have her max leveled yet. Probably not though. Cutting Magic attacks an enemy and removes all beneficial effects on the target. If there are 2 or more beneficial effects removed, the attack bar of all allies is increased by 20% each. Not a bad skill. I think Lisa. No, actually, I think Lisa has or Emma has the skill too, but I'll have to check when we get to her. And then this is the reason why I love using her. Attack a command. This is a cleansing move and also removes all harmful effects on all enemies. After that, 3 randomly selected allies attack an enemy. This is probably the most OP skill that Lisa does have. She's great. She's probably great for Necro, though I wouldn't quote it. I mean, it depends on if there's an enemy that has, or a monster of yours that has, like, a skill that doesn't need cooldown that hits multiple times, such as, chilling, choline, which I do have. I'm, shoot. I don't know if there's any other enemies that are monsters that have, like, non-cooldown skills, but anyways, she could possibly be, a candidate for Necro. So, I mean, it really is up to you how you want to rune her. I mean, she is good put on Violent, and it's actually recommended that she's put on Violent. If you can't get Violent runes and go Speed, so it's like Swift Blade, Swift Focus. If you want to especially get like the harmful effects removed, that's probably your best shot. All right, my Anubis. I need to awaken him, and I'm like wanting to farm wind so I can awaken him. Pure Soul attacks the enemy twice, with each attack having a 30% chance to disturb the HP recovery for 2 turns. Not too bad. A pretty good skill. Brand of Hell attacks the enemy 3 times, each attack having a 50% chance of receiving a branding effect for 2 turns. This damage increases as the enemy's HP becomes lower. So, I mean, he's good for Fatal Blade. Though you could also give him a lot of defense for his next skill, which I'll kind of go over in a little bit. I think it's its passive too. I'm not too sure. For those of you who don't know, the branding effect, if they have a branding effect, then their damage is gonna be increased. I don't know by how much. I think it's 20%. Really good skill, and I mean, not many monsters can actually put the branding effect on. So this is actually a really good monster to put, really good branding effect. Underworld's King's Return. It is his passive. I didn't think it was, but I didn't know. Revives with 30% HP at the moment of death with when fully charged attack bar. Additionally, the attack power is increased for 2 turns as well. Unfortunately, he usually dies really quickly after he's returned, so you want to make sure you have a healer with you. Not only that though, but also have somebody who can boost defense. He's a really good, awesome monster. Though the Light Anubis is a bit better because he's a reviver. But if you get the Wind Anubis, you want to keep him. He's a really good monster to have. There's multiple different ways you can rune Anubis. I have mine. Probably gonna have my Fatal Blade, though I'm gonna probably change it to maybe. I mean, he is an attacking monster, but he needs a lot of defense because of his passive. But it's up to you. I mean, yeah, you want to have at least. If you don't put defense on him, make sure you have a monster that can boost defense for that reason. Alright, the Phantom Thieves. They're really squishy, which pisses me off, but they're really good. And, I mean, they're really good attackers. I think I have Julian, I want to say? Julian? Probably not, but I mean, I'll check later. Scene of the crime. Inflicts damage to announce the crime and stuns the enemy with a 25 or 20% chance. If it's put on despair, it's I think 40%. So, or in so like what 20, 30, 40, 50. So 75 or 70% chance, which is actually pretty good. Um, Surprise visit attacks with a 30% crit rate bonus and stuns the enemy if it lands as a critical hit. So, really good skill. Showtime attacks all enemies 3 times, each with a 10% chance to stun the enemy for 1 turn. He's ridiculously awesome with violent, or not violent, despair. Um, just for the stun factor. Uh, he's really good. I think he could be good for Giants B10 if he wasn't so squishy. And honestly, it doesn't matter how much HP you give him, how much defense you give him, he's still going to be really squishy. Um, I have the fire as well. I don't think I have a max. No, I don't have max leveled, and I know one of their skills has changed. I don't know which one exactly, but again, this one's good for like probably TOA. I mean, it's kind of iffy. I mean, probably mid TOA, you're not gonna want to change him because I mean he's ridiculously squishy. I mean, I do use him for giants, but I mean he dies a little too fast, and it kind of annoys me. But let's see what it is. Gains a leadership skill. He's really good for. He's a really good wind monster. Not many people like him because he's really squishy, but I kind of like him because I mean he can just stun everywhere, stun everywhere. So you want to put him on Despair Blade, probably. Yeah, Despair Blade. Or Despair Focus. If you have him on Despair, the second term or the second room set doesn't really matter all too much. Because I mean you already have a high percentage of stunning anyway, so yeah. Oh, Kaido, the Wind Samurai. I was hoping for June, but I got Kaido. He's actually not too bad. I wanted June more, but I mean, hey, I got Kaido. I'm happy with the Samurai. Um, Kaido's really awesome, and I mean, actually, all the samurais are awesome. Probably the most OP are the Fire, Light, and Dark, but I mean, again, doesn't matter anyways. Let's go over the skill set. Alright, Wield quickly draws the sword to attack an enemy and decreases the enemy's target's defense for 2 turns with a 50% chance. The skill has a 10% chance to activate the Sword of the Supreme Skywolf. Kind of a mouthful, but it's a good defense buff and also a good percent of activating his 4th skill, which is kind of unique for all of the monsters. Air Slash shoots a sharp enemy from the sword. Your attack speed is increased for 2 turns if this lands as a critical hit. This has a 20% chance to activate Sword of the Supreme Skywolf. Shit. Thunder Wield attacks enemy with lightning speed, puts the enemy's skill on cooldown. The damage increases according to your attack speed. This skill has a 50% chance to activate Sword of the Supreme Skywolf. Really good for like arena. I don't see many people using Kaido. I think I see them more using like June, Tao, and what's the latest name? I just lost it. Great. I'm kind of annoyed now. Anyways, so attack speed, probably swift focus. Because you're going to want to make sure that this last skill is activated as much as possible. Let's go over it. Attacks all enemies with a secret skill that deals substantial damage and ignores all beneficial effects that reduces the inflicted damage. Generates a shield proportionate to your level and lasts for 1 turn if Sword of the Supreme Skywolf is activated. This is ridiculous. I got destroyed in TOA once by the skill, and I actually was using Chloe, Lucian, Drunken Master, and a few other monsters in Praha with that. Destroyed it. I didn't even know that it actually ignores beneficial effects, which is ridiculously awesome. Holy shit. Yes. Swift Blade, Swift Blade or Swift Focus. It really depends. Um, if you do go Swift Blade, attacks either attack or speed. Actually, attack percent, crit rate percent, accuracy percent. Because you're gonna want to activate this skill as much as you can, and if you do, you're gonna be set basically. All right, one of the monsters I'm so proud of that I took all the time I needed to get Belladon, Lighting Yagami. You guys are gonna be bugging for people to give you the secret dungeon. I had to. It took me at least 2 months to get this guy, and it was worth it. He's used everywhere. Not even fucking kidding. He's used for Necro. Actually, no, he's not used for Necro. He's used for Giants, Dragons, Raid, TOA, you name it. For even Raid, or even Arena. Scratch attacks with Giant Claws decreases the enemy's defense for 2 turns. Good defense buffer. If you need like a straight defense buffer, no, no what is, no focus, no anything, this is the monster you're gonna want. Seize attacks the enemy and removes all beneficial effects on the target. Great skill. You're gonna want to make sure that you use her for not TOA. Actually, you could use her for TOA if there's any monster or boss that usually gets like a lot of beneficial effects. I'm talking mainly like arguably Necro, but I don't want to say Necro and quote that and then I feel stupid if I'm wrong. Not Necro. Mostly Giants actually. She's like great for Giants probably because she can remove beneficial effects. If you're looking for like a buff stripper, if you don't have Chiwu especially, then you're gonna want to get Belladon. And this is the reason why everybody gets Belladon. Mobilize fills the attack bar for all allies by 30% and recovers their HP by 30%. Great skill, great healer, great everything. I need to build her. The thing about Belladon is she needs to be a tank. She needs a lot of defense, a lot of HP. I think she's an HP monster. No, she's a defense monster. So give her as much HP and defense as you can. You could give her attack, but it really all depends. She doesn't need attack actually. You let other monsters handle that feature or that reasoning. She's great. I'm so glad I got her. I think most people usually ruin her like energy guard, energy endurance as well. Guard endurance. Make sure that you give her a lot of HP and defense with all substats, and even main stats. I've seen people use her like Rage Blade. It's not exactly the best because she doesn't need to be an attacking monster. Yes, it will throw people off guard of having her for an attacking monster, but it's not really necessary. I mean, yeah, if you do want to use her for attacking, that's okay, but still, she needs to be defensive. I'm not even joking. Alright, the Harg. The fire's the best. That was an at 3, but I have the wind, and I accidentally fed my water. Well, actually, I fed my water and then fed my fire, which I kind of feel stupid for. I forget the reason why the fire's best, but wind's great. Wind's great. Breeze attacks an enemy, attacks a target, and increase the attack bar of the ally with the lowest attack bar by 15%. Not too bad a skill. Woodvine attacks an enemy, decreasing the attack by 50% with a 70% chance, and decreases the attack speed for 2 turns with a 70% chance. This attack deals more damage according to your defense, and he is a defense monster. Or he's a support monster, but he needs a lot of defense. I'm not gonna joke about that. Deer's Song removes all beneficial effects on all harmful effects on all allies, and it casts a damage absorbing shield on them for 3 turns. Its absorption is proportional to your max defense. He may be little, but he can do a shit ton. I mean, he can help a team out. I mean, I think the fire. The fire basically is like fills the attack bar to max. So that's probably the reason why the fire's best. I unfortunately don't even have it anymore, stupidly, because I fed it, but great monster. I mean, yeah, the horrors may not look like they can do much, but I mean, if you really look into their skill set, they're really good monsters. Probably best for giants and even dragons. Despair, or not despair. Energy focus or energy guard. Give them a lot of defense. I mean, they could be tanks. I mean, yeah, I mean, it looks like they can't really do all that much, but still, they can be tanks. They're really, really awesome. I'm not even joking. And now we're coming to the monsters that everybody loves. And I see like too many of them right there. So let's go over the Sylph. I actually have both Beretta and Tyron. I just summoned Tyron 3 days ago, maybe? And God, am I glad I got Tyron. Spear Throw. Throws a small spear at the enemy and increases your crit rate by 30% at the next turn if you get a critical hit. 2 AoEs. Here's one of them. Cyclone attacks all enemies with a cyclone 2 times. Each attack has a 40% chance of increasing the enemy's chance of landing a glancing hit for 2 turns. He's really a great monster to have for TOA and even Arena. Holy shit. And Hailstorm. Probably the most OP attack that this guy's got. Attacks all enemies with a hailstorm, freezing them for 1 turn. There's not even a doubt. They're screwed. Much like this guy right here, which I'll go over. Actually, I'll go over a skill set now because he's kind of like Tyron, but with 2 major differences. Turbulence compresses the enemy around the air around the enemy, causing the turbulence, which sets their attack bar to 0. Great for arena defense, and he's also great for TOA. People refer to both, I think, mainly Beretta, but I can say that Tyron could be also considered the king of TOA, and it's because of this reason here too. Phoenix's Fury summons a Phoenix to breathe fire on all enemies and inflicts continuous damage for 3 turns. He's broken as hell on violent. I highly recommend though you go with Despair Focus, because if you get both of these guys accuracy up to 100, they're gonna fuck all over the enemies hardcore. Holy shit is all I can say to both of these guys. They're both the king of TOA in my book. It's recommended that it's HP percent, attack percent, speed percent, or actually even accuracy percent if their accuracy isn't at least close to 100 at that point. You could also give them a lot of speed, but I think you can get a lot of speed from stuff stats. They're just amazing monsters. So they're both awesome. I'm not even joking. Alright. This took me a while to get, but I'm glad I did the farming for it. The Light Brownie Magician. If you guys didn't know, this was the Hall of Heroes for November, and I'm so glad I took the time to grind like hell to get Gemini. And it's because of his passive that makes him so OP. Increases the attack bar by 50% if your HP ratio is lower than the target enemy's HP ratio at the moment of attack. And removes 1 beneficial effect if the enemy has less beneficial effects. If you have less beneficial effects than the enemy. And it's basically a screw over. He's so broken and violent, I can tell you that right now. But let's go over his skill set. Run, bounces towards an enemy, and with the 30% chance gets to attack another turn. Pretty good, actually. Fly. Attacks all enemies with giant orbs, decreasing their defense for 1 turn, and this attack lands as a crushing hit regardless of the enemy's attribute. Again, really, he's pretty good for giants. Probably good for dragons too, but I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, I do think that, yeah, he could be pretty good for dragons as well. This took me so long to get, but I'm glad I took the chance and got him. I think most people usually put him on Violent Blade. Violent Blade or something else. I know it's Violent than someone else. I don't remember exactly. he's broken on Violent because of his first skill, which gets him a 30% chance to attack again. So, I mean, if you have like a Violent and you have him attacking again and again and again, you're gonna probably be probably knocking out enemies left or right. Oh god, this was like the hardest grinding mission for me. Bernard, the Wind Griffin. This took me a while to get as well, stupidly. Snatch attacks an enemy with razor sharp claws, decreases the damage, increases accordingly to your attack speed. He needs to be put with like a lot of speed. Swift Blade is usually how he's ruined. I think also Swift it's actually either Swift Energy or Swift Endurance or Swift Guard. Bottom line, he needs a lot of defense. Or not a lot of defense, but a lot of speed. Body Slam attacks an enemy with a body slam and weakens their defense attack power for 2 and defense. And his third skill is great as well. Tailwind increases the attack bar of all allies by 30% and increases their attack speed for 2 turns. Great skill, awesome skill. Love this skill. He's used everywhere. I know that for sure. I don't even need to say anything else about Bernard. He's great. He's awesome. And his leadership skills when he's awakened is not bad either. Increases the attack power of all ally monsters with a GP by 30%. If you pair him up with like a Lucian, Orochi, anybody else, they're done. They're just holy shit. You just can't do shit with Bernard in the ring. Oh, did I say I had another Rashaka? I got the Dark. Ran. She's a beauty. She's a thing of beauty. Swing attacks an enemy with a whip, increasing. I can already went that with Hua. Fast swing attacks 3 times in a row and inflicts continuous damage for 2 turns if it lands as a critical hit. Great for Necro, and her third skill is also great for Necro. Attacks the enemy 4 times, decreasing the attack bar by 20%. With 75% with each attack. This attack grants a stun for 1 turn if the enemy attack bar is depleted. She's not only good for Necro, she could be good anywhere else. TOA, arena defense, raids probably. Oof. She's got an attitude. So does Hua. Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of sense. Like I said, I got Lisa, and here she is. Or Emma. Damn, I need to stop screwing him up. The only skill that actually changes with Lisa and Emma is medical support. Heals all allies by 30% of your max HP, and increases their defense for 2 turns. The skill also generates a shield that lasts for 2 turns and is equivalent to half of the excessive heal. The thing that usually people do with Lisa, Emma, god damn it, is they usually put her on Violent, give her a lot of HP, and make her a tank. And then what they usually do is they'll use medical support in the beginning of the battle if she has high enough speed. And that shield lasts for a good while. It lasts for quite a while if she has a lot of HP. So I mean, you have a pretty good monster that can really save squishy monsters. Alrighty, my favorite monster, the Fire Vampire, also known as Vertihil. Oh, I've wanted one for quite a while. I'm so glad I got one. He is an attacking monster, and I'm gonna tell you right now, he needs a lot of crit. Vampire Bat attacks an enemy 2 times with the Vampire Bat and recovers the HP by 30% of the inflicted damage. Noble Agreements. Strikes a strong blow with a surprise attack. This attack also receives a 30% crit rate bonus. Not too bad a skill, increases crit rate, but you need to have him crit rate because of this. Boiling Blood is passive. Your critical hits increase the attack powers of allies by 20%. This doesn't have effect on allies with the similar skill effects. So you can't put like Bernard and Vertihill. He needs a lot of crit rate just for specifically that passive. He's just awesome. Just awesome. The Dark Serpent, I don't remember his name. I didn't think he's really useful at first, but then I looked at his skills and I'm like, I might actually use him. Sonic Boom. Attacks an enemy with a strong Sonic Boom and removes a beneficial effect with 75% chance. Not too bad. Dark Blast. Attacks all enemies, decreasing their attack speed for 2 turns. This damage is... The damage of the skill will increase according to your max HP. And then his new skill, when he's awakened, Poison Mist. Attacks all enemies, weakening their defense and deals continuous damage for 2 turns. His attack is also proportionate to his max HP. He's set up like a tank, and you got yourself a good dark monster right there. I mean, when I first got him, I didn't really think I was gonna have any use for him, but then I'm like, I might actually use him for giants. I mean, yeah, he's not probably gonna get that much airtime, but you know, he's pretty all right. Mav, the Wind Penguin Knight. Probably one of the most OP of the Penguin Knights. Honorable Attack. Charges to attack and stuns an enemy for 1 turn with a 20% chance. Not a bad skill. Declare War. Recovers 25% of your HP and provokes the enemy for 1 turn with a 75% chance. He is an HP monster, and most people, and I do mean most people, usually set him up like a tank. I mean, he might be little. He might be like he's like at the Harg. He might be little, but he could be a fucking tank, and he can be annoying as hell. I'm not even joking. Holy shit. I mean, oh my god, he's annoying as hell to take out on TOA. I was facing one in TOA, and I don't remember how long ago this was. Oh my god! I mean, my illusion was done by the time that he was originally going to attack. I was so fucking annoyed. I'm like, are you fucking joking me? And I found out that, you know, Mav was one of them I can get. I'm like, hey, you know what? I might as well see if I can get one. And I luckily did. I'm so glad I did. I need to build him, like, ASAP. And he does gain another skill when he's awakened. Wings of the Wind. Removes 1 harmful effect on all enemies and decreases their skill cooldown time for 1 turn and increases their attack speed for 2 turns. Really great skill. So let's look at it. It's a harmful effect remover. It's a cooldown skill. I don't know what the fuck to call that. Fuck it, never mind. Cooldown decrease, there we go. That made sense. And an attack speed buff. What more could you not... how would you not want more with this monster? He's great. He's so cute. Look at his tiny sword and shield and little penguin feet. Okay, I need to stop. That's getting kind of weird. Alright. The one monster I'm also pretty glad I got. Basalt, the Dark Battle Mammoth. Battle Charge. Charges towards an enemy and to inflict damage and provokes an enemy for 1 turn with a 50% chance. Pretty good skill. Polar Roar. Recovers the HP of all allies with an energizing roar and increases their defense for 2 turns. The recovery amount is proportionate to my max HP. He's a HP monster. Defense. Don't know why I said HP. And he does what he does best. Hellstomp. Inflicts damage to all enemies proportionate to my max HP and decreases the attack by 30%, 35% chance. Or by 30%, 35%. Holy shit. That's a lot. That's ridiculous. That's awesome. If he's paired up with Beretta, Wah, anyone else who can he can go multiple times, they're not gonna get a turn most likely. You're gonna destroy them with like Basalt and other monsters. He's like so huge too. It's been known that Marble's a bit better, but I kind of disagree with that. My Water Elven Ranger. Many people don't really like the Elven Rangers. If they try to go for any of them, they go for fire. I go for water. Specifically for giants. Here's the reason why. Strafe. Rapidly fires 2 shots. Each shot might have or it may fire an additional shot by chance. This is equivalent to your crit rate. So if it's 100, it's 100% chance. If it's 90, it's 90% chance. Pretty good either way. Pretty good either way. Ankle shot attacks an enemy, stunning it for 1 turn with a 30% chance. If the target is stunned by your attack, you instantly gain another turn. Pretty good. Pretty good. Entrap. Activates a trap, damaging all enemies and decreasing their attack by 30% each. Against the enemies that are stunned, this attack will decrease the attack bar to 0. So let's go over what you need to be ruined with. Despair Focus. Actually, no, Despair Blade, actually. Sorry about that. Despair, because you can stun, with a pretty good chance. And if they are stunned by the time you use Entrap, they're going to be down to 0. So they will not get a turn. They won't get to attack for a while. You're going to be pretty much set if you have this awesome Elven Ranger set with, like, Despair Blade, yeah. I was gonna say Despair something else, but I don't know why. Now, this is kind of a strange occurrence. A Howl. They are actually pretty good. The Water and Light are best. And even my friend has one and uses it for everything, and he built it like a tank. If you build Shushu and Lulu like tanks, they're gonna be annoying to take out. Attack. Attacks the target enemy and increases your attack bar by 30%. Dispel. It removes all harmful effects on you and the targeted ally and recovers your HP by 20%. Not too bad, not too bad. Heal. Recovers all allies by 20% and recovers again with the lowest HP by 20%. A pretty good skill, honestly, in all honesty. I mean, again, she needs to be put with like a lot of defense. If she's put with like a lot of defense, she can be pretty annoying to take out. And I do also have the Fire Phantom Thief. Now it's Old Grudge, the passive. Increases your attack power by 100% if your HP is lower than 50%. It's a pretty good passive, actually. I mean, it's pretty good for when, I mean, honestly, the Phantom Thieves aren't really supposed to have like a lot of defense. And I was taking one on in Trial of Ascension last time before it was reset, and they were so annoying to take out. It would destroy my Lucian. It would be pretty sad. But anyways, guys, I just want to thank you all for watching this video. I really, really do hope you did enjoy this video, and also kind of, have a clue what you're going to want to look for Summoner's War. There are other monsters that I do want, specifically Raki. But, I'm probably not even getting it for a while, so, yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you do want to see more Summoner's War videos, I will post more if the recording material is working right. All the time it doesn't, but, it's a pretty good chance. So, anyways, guys, I will be seeing you guys in the next video. Probably not, actually. Maybe. Peace out.